And we are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another live Q&A here on the Film Stock channel. It has been not a full month, but 2 days away from a full month since my last stream. I believe I went through, and the last one I did was on April 9th of this year, and I was talking about a Minecraft movie and all the shenanigans that went down with that. So it's been about a month. I feel like I took a much-needed rest from live streams. We're back. We're going to have tons to talk about. I haven't done one of these in a month, so we got a month's worth of movies and shows, as well as movie news. Thunderbolts is out. I've seen Thunderbolts 3 times. If you follow me on Letterboxd, you knew that. Follow me on Letterboxd, link down below. But I saw it for a third time today. Lots to discuss there. TUDUM is coming up at the end of the month with we've had a trailer for that, so we know we're getting tons of stuff for upcoming movies and shows. And I've got a water here. I'm running low. That's how much water I have. Lukewarm, no ice. Interesting. Not the worst I've ever had. If I look like I have rosy cheeks, I went for a run/walk combo, I call it. And I ran the last mile straight. So I got done with that and I scarfed down some dinner and I was like, let's run this stream. So that's why I'm like 5 minutes late. Casual for live streams. My bad. But yeah, welcome in, everybody. Let's have a fun stream. For those who are new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome. How this works is I'm going to answer as many questions as I can. And that's really it. We're hanging out, having a good time. Try not to spam your questions, please, because it bogs down the chat. And yeah, it's just not the move. And if anyone impersonates me, we'll get you. Anyway, yeah, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. And then, of course, Super Chat is the way to guarantee I get to your question, comment, or concern because it pops up for me. It's also a way to help support the channel. So yeah, let's do this. I'll answer as many as I can. Here we go. I'll address the elephant in the room up front, actually. Congrats on the engagement. We got a couple people saying that already. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm engaged, for those who didn't know. It happened almost a week ago, which is crazy how time flies. But I no longer have a girlfriend. I have a fiance. I'm getting used to saying that. It's kind of a pretentious word, if you want my honest opinion. Fiance. Finance. No, I don't know. I just like to say different variations of it. But yeah, I'm engaged now, and I appreciate it. It's exciting times for sure. It's a new chapter of life, and I look forward to it. A lot of exciting things coming down the line for the rest of the year. I have seen Atla, but not since I was a young lad. I watched it when it came out on Nickelodeon, so the last time I watched it was probably 2008. Is that when the finale happened? 2008, 2009? That's the last time I watched Atla. So it's safe to say it's been a hot minute. Right? Christian says, what's up, Chris? Have you watched Andor yet? Because the season is as good as season 1. I actually have not watched Andor season 2 yet. I've seen all of season 1. I watched it as it was coming out. This new season, however, I just have not started yet. Number one reason is I'm watching lots of other movies and shows right now, like franchises playing catch up on before, new entries. But also, I want to rewatch the first season of Andor beforehand, and that's a commitment. That's a commitment right there. So at this point, I mean, I know they're dropping 3 eps a week for Andor. I'm thinking to myself, 9 eps are out. Next week, all 12 are going to be out. I might as well just wait until the whole thing's out. I have avoided all spoilers for it. You guys know I love Star Wars, but fortunately, I don't really have to worry about spoilers because not a lot of people, at least in the bubble I'm on social media, really watch or talk about the show. And so I don't have to worry about that, where I would have to worry about that with, say, a Marvel show or The Last of Us. I see spoilers for that every night. So I watch The Last of Us right when it comes out. But I don't see anyone talking about Andor. I know that people are watching it. I know it's a popular show. I love season 1. I'm excited to watch season 2. It's just I might as well wait it out at this point and binge it all in one go. So I'll get to it, but I think our season 1 rewatch is necessary because it's been almost 3 years in August, I think, right? Yeah, since that season came out. So it's been almost 3 years since I've watched season 1 of Andor. So I'll want to rewatch that, but heard great things about season 2. Looking forward to catching up on it when the time comes. That could be the Penguin of this year, though. And the only people who understand that are people who have been following the channel for a while, where it was one of my most anticipated shows, and then it came out, and I still have not watched it. I have not watched The Penguin yet. Andor season 2 could be that. It was one of my most anticipated shows. I just, for The Penguin, I was like, I got to rewatch The Batman. That just never happened. And I don't know why I did that to myself, because I've seen The Batman 3 times, but I'm really steadfast. I'm I want to rewatch Andor season 1, but that's the reason I haven't watched this new season yet. Good water. Jakey Boy says, what do you think on the Thunderbolts name change? People say it's spoiling the movie, so I want to see your thoughts. Congrats on the movie, on the engagement. Well, thank you, Jakey. I won't say what the name change is for those who don't know, but the asterisk at the end kind of gives away that's not the official name of this new team. If you haven't seen it by now, I won't say it yet, but even though I referenced it in my most recent YouTube video, and I feel like all 70 of you people in the stream know what I'm talking about. But look, I would say I actually like the marketing. I don't know where most people are at with this. You could say it's a spoiler, but to me, it adds intrigue, and I think that it's fairly clever to sell more tickets. And I like it. And I think here's my thing. I'm not trying to like fan police anybody. I don't want to do that. But you know that 90% of the people who were dying to see Thunderbolts went opening weekend. Like the hardcore fans, the people who actually care a ton about the MCU, either went Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. I think that's a safe bet, right? Most people went and saw it. And if not, you went Monday and stayed off social media. Like a lot of people aren't chronically online like we are in the movie space, you know, so they don't see these kinds of things. So yeah, that's kind of my take is I don't think it's too spoilery. Yes, it gives away a new name change that's made in the movie, but it's not like revealing major plot points, how that comes to be. Just adds some intrigue in my opinion. And it's kind of like we all knew all along with the asterisk that something was going to change, whether that was going one of two routes, and they went one of those two routes. I'm being vague intentionally, by the way. Anyway, I'm going to take a sip of water real quick. Quite delicious. Quite delicious. Movie Fan 2002 in here, as always. Shout out him. First off, congrats on the engagement. Thank you. I appreciate that. Second, Thunderbolts was awesome. Third, we better get a Stranger Things trailer real soon. And finally, when are you seeing Mission Impossible Final Reckoning? All right. So thank you for the engagement wishes. Secondly, Thunderbolts continues to grow on me. I said this up front. I've seen it 3 times now. I went to the press screening. I went Friday with Cam, and I went today with Cam. Like just on a whim. It's raining out here, and I was like, we were like, let's just go see it. Like I'm a huge fan of weekday movies, and fortunately, a lot of days my schedule allows me to do that. And so I said, let's run it. We went round 3. Stranger Things trailer. To answer the third part of this, we will get one either the 14th or 31st, but most likely on the 31st at TUDUM. They announced today who's going to be at TUDUM. And Gayton, Caleb, Finn, Noah, and Millie are all going to be there. We're going to get something. We're getting a teaser. And then if you watch my recent video, one of the Netflix pages like kind of already spoiled that we're getting a teaser. So that's happening this month. And finally, Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, my most anticipated movie of the year. I'm actually seeing it next week. Yeah, next week. So the rest of this week, I will be watching through that series. Rewatched the first one, rewatching the second one tonight, and I'll just keep rewatching them. I've seen them all a handful of times in my life. They're all great films, aside from 2. 2 is the weak link of the franchise, but 4 through, I actually know 1 is a 4 out of 5. 3 is about a 4 out of 5. And then 4, 5, 6, 7 or 4.5 out of 5 or higher. I think Fallout's the only 5 out of 5. So I think it's fair to have expectations that this movie's going to be good. I'm not going in thinking it's going to be the best because Fallout's a damn hard film to top, but I do expect this movie to be at least a 4 out of 5. And I don't think that's like insane or I'm overhyping it. Like that's, if it's not a 4 out of 5, like if it's worse than that, that's a disappointment, undeniably. I think everyone would agree. I mean, there's a lot riding on this movie. So, you know, I'm excited, really, really am. And next week I'll have a review. I'll have an out of theater. And then I'll save my ranking of the films for the following week when the movie drops so that it lines up with the movie releasing. But those are the 3 Mission Impossible videos that I have planned as of right now. We got 2 super chats. No question from RL. Is there a question in the chat? Let me scroll ahead and look real quick. I think this is the question right here. Hi, what do you think the role of Max's notes will play in season 5? She couldn't have wrote them for no reason. Yeah, so this is referring to like the envelope, the letter she gave to everyone before, you know, she thought she was going to bite the dust, right? I don't know. I feel like they might have moved on from that, if you want the truth. Initially, when she handed those letters out to everyone, it made it seem like she was going to bite the dust. She technically died briefly, but came back. And so I feel like, I don't know, I feel like those might be no more. I feel like they might move on from that. However, if they are to kill Max, hopefully it doesn't happen. those could come back into play, and we could get sort of a montage of characters reading those letters. That would be brutal. Brutal. But yeah, we got almost 100 people here, so hit that like button. Helps out quite a bit. Super chat's the way to go to guarantee I get to your question, comment, concern. Huge way to help support the channel. And let's keep it going. Having a fun stream so far. Energy's good, and I'm going to have another water break. Good water. Good water. Well, I appreciate that, and I got to meet William Zabka and Ralph Macchio. Well, that's very nice. I hope that absolutely brilliant they were, he says. Yeah, that's awesome. They're very chill. I've met them both, and very kind, very cool interactions. They were my first, I believe my first Funko Pops I ever had signed were those two back in, 2023, early 2023. Wild. Sniper says, thoughts on the studio getting renewed for season 2? And is it absolute Rogan cinema? I quite like the show. I watched the new episode this morning. It's one of my favorite shows of the year, but this show has been pretty on point for TV, in my opinion. Severance, the studio. There's a couple of Cobra Kai came to an end. I'm enjoying The Last of Us season 2. I haven't talked about that anywhere, I don't think, but I'm enjoying it. I don't like it as much as season 1, but that makes sense considering I prefer the first game to the second game, that is. So yeah, I think it's been a great year for TV. The studio might be my favorite show of the year. I don't know. Really tough to say. But the episode today, to call back to an earlier comment, it was absolutely brilliant. It was the Golden Globes episode, so there were a lot of cameos of legit celebs and a lot of self-aware humor about the industry. Zack Snyder made an appearance, so that's always funny. But yeah, the studio, it's really clever inside the movie industry. Also meta in a way, making fun of the stupid decisions that studios can make. Yeah, I quite enjoy it. I'm glad it's renewed for season 2 to answer the question. I'll be checking out season 2 for sure. And it's a show that could go five or so seasons, I think, pretty easily, I would say. Bridget, I'm also very excited for TUDUM. May 31st, I have it marked on my calendar. Thoughts on You Season 5? Is the review coming soon? So I have seen You Season 5. I will not be reviewing it. I feel like the ship has sailed for that particularly, but I did watch it. It took me a while to finish it. I went on a trip with some friends the weekend that it came out, and so it delayed my watching of that. And then by the time I got back, it was Thunderbolts. And so now I feel like the ship's kind of sailed. I did a ranking of the seasons in short form, but I would say I actually liked how they wrapped up Joe's character. I won't say what happens if you haven't seen You, but I like the decisions that were made. It felt fitting, and I actually quite like the final lines as well. We got Starcourt in the chat. Shout out the best mod around. Benjamin in the chat as well. Is Karate Kid Legends going to bomb? It very well could. It very well could. I have no expectations, but I've been anti that movie for a long time. You guys know that. All right, let's hit a speed round. Gavin's in the chat. Shout out Gavin. Glad you could make it in. Do I think Mad Max Fury Road will eventually grow on you? Maybe. I mean, the thing is, it's been what? I think it's been 10 years that movie's been out, and I've seen it. And each time I think about it or go back to it or try to go back to it, it just doesn't work for me. So maybe it's one of those movies that forever I just don't love. And that, I mean, we all have those movies. That's one of my biggest ones. That's a very popular film that's beloved, and it's just not my cup of tea. And I watched Furiosa, and I think I was trying my hardest to like Furiosa because I thought back on Furiosa, and I'm like, if I rewatch that, it's certainly going to drop for me. So it's just not my thing, unfortunately. Mango Rock, what's up, everybody? Welcome. Bianca Loves Disney is in the chat. Hi, Chris. Just got back from New York to see Joe and the First Shadow. I'm jealous. Sounds like an elite trip. I'd love to send you a playbill. Did you open a PO box yet? I have not done that yet. I appreciate it. That's very considerate, though, Bianca. I have not opened a PO box yet. I'm very on the fence about it because I've had one in the past, but it was 2021, and I had it truthfully. I had a community, but I did not have this community, and so it was a different time of life. I was in college still, and I had one, and it was just a weird time. I mean, I'm considering opening one back up. But how would you guys? I wanted to get general, consensus vibes on that. Would you be interested in that? It would be so you guys could send me whatever you want if you feel so inclined. It could be something like this. It could be a Blu-ray. I've really gone back and forth on opening one up. So I have to look into that. But Bianca, I'll let you know if I end up opening one of those or not. I want to go see The First Shadow desperately. I want to. I want to get up there so bad. And Joe is adding shows. He added shows, I should say, and he's coming to Atlanta. But I don't think I'm going to make it out there. I was looking into it, and I was like, I just don't know if I'm going to swing that this year. But yeah, I was like very close to. I know that I think tickets go on sale to the public later this week, but like pre-sale happened today or yesterday. And so I was like torn about that because I've been listening to The Crux like every day. I go for these walks and I listen to it, and I'm like, I want to go so bad, but I just I don't know if I'm gonna make that happen. But man, it would be cool. Man, it would be cool. Let's see. All right, Haley, same to you. Hope all's well. William again. Hello. Jake says, who would win in a fight? Hawk from Cobra Kai or Steve from Stranger Things? No weapons. Hawk would whoop his ass because Steve gets beat often. I love Steve to death, but we know the answer to this. He gets his ass whooped by Jonathan Byers. To quote Tommy H. You couldn't take Jonathan Byers. Sniper says, who did... I'm not going to put the question on screen in case you haven't, don't know the spoilers for The Last of Us, but who did the blank death better, the game or the show? I would say they're so vastly different. It's a little more shocking in the game, but I thought that the show really handled it well because they add a moment where a certain character like crawls over there. I don't know. Flip a coin. That's my answer. Kind of a cop-out answer, but flip a coin. Soli's in the chat. Shout out Soli. Hope all's well with you, man. Do you think there will be a notable box office bump this week at all for Thunderbolts after the name change? I do. I think there's zero competition this weekend. Fight or Flight, I want to say, is like the biggest movie coming out. I still think Sinners is going to be number 2, but Thunderbolts is going to be number 1. It's going to drop, right? It opened to 80 or 82 million domestic. It'll drop from that, obviously, but I don't think it's going to be a huge drop. I don't think it's going to be a 50% drop. I think it'll still make 60, high 50, low 60. Yeah, I think it's going to do well week 2. And then, frankly, there's no competition week 3 either for it. Final Destination Bloodlines. It's not going to be, it really needs to do well the next 2 weeks because once the 23rd of May rolls around, you got Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible. And then after that, Karate Kid. And then from there, it's the summer movie season. So it's got a few weeks to really be that number 1 movie. So I think it is a smart marketing move, in my opinion. So I think it could help in the long run because it's going to maybe get someone who's like, I don't really know if I want to see Thunderbolts, but I've seen Marvel movies in the past. But what is this? The new title? The new blank, what is this? And they go and see it. I think it could serve well in the long run. Jim Halpert from The Office says, are you excited for Ironheart? Intrigued, maybe. Ironheart, Riri Williams is one of the best parts of Wakanda Forever, but that show's been filmed for years now, and I don't say that lightly. It's kind of like Agatha, where it's been filmed and just sitting around. So I don't know what the hell's been going on with that behind the scenes. Kind of alarming a little bit. Carson, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Carlos says, hi, Chris. Congrats on the engagement. Well, thank you. What was your favorite part of Thunderbolts? Something you would have liked to see explored more in the movie? So to answer the 2 questions, I've seen the movie 3 times now, and my favorite part is still the Bucky scene when the I'm Bucky track plays. And it's when like Red Guardian and the rest of the gang are riding in the limo and like those Humvees are like chasing them down. And then Yelena like leans out of the car and shoots one of them. And it like explodes off to the side, but it's actually Bucky pulling up from behind on a motorcycle. And he just has this badass scene where he like one hand pumps a shotgun and like shoots a wire on one of the tires, then wraps it around his Winter Soldier arm and smashes it into the ground. Like that was sick. To me, that was the coolest scene in the movie. So that's my favorite part of Thunderbolts. Something I would have liked to have seen explored more. Probably I would have loved to explore the past trauma and journeys of characters like Ghost more. I know that we got a little flashback for Yelena, Val, and I believe John Yeah, John Walker. But we didn't get one for Ghost. We didn't get one for Winter Soldier, or excuse me, Bucky. But the reason I think they did that is because we've already explored Bucky's past in multiple phases of the MCU. They even kind of have a joke about that where he's like, yeah, my past is, I forget the exact line, but you know what I'm talking about. He's like, yeah, I've had a great past or something like that. And then Ghost also kind of explored her past to be a flashback in Ant-Man and the Wasp. So I get it, but more depth to maybe supporting characters would have been something I would have liked to have seen more of. Still quite enjoy the movie. We have a super chat from Cherry Bomb. Did I watch Umbrella Academy? How did I feel about it? I've never seen Umbrella Academy. It's one of the popular Netflix shows I never got around to. I avoided it because I heard the ending stunk. And anytime there's a really divisive ending for a show, it makes me weary of wanting to go and watch it. I'm like, I don't know, Jim. So not sold on watching Umbrella Academy because I don't want to invest my time in a show and then get to the end of that show and it be a major bummer. Like I have friends in real life who've never watched Game of Thrones and that's their reasoning. And I'm not even mad at them. I'm like, dude, I get it. Like, I think that Game of Thrones has some of the best things I've ever seen in television. The best TV battle, maybe battle I've ever seen put to screen, period, Battle of the Bastards. But it is a lot of time and season 8 is kind of disappointing. So I get it if you don't want to watch it. Like, I get it. So I'm not mad at people who don't want to watch popular shows because they end poorly. I'm going to take a water break. Quite good, by the way. Top 3 performances in Thunderbolts: Florence Pugh, Lewis Pullman, David Harbour. And I am enjoying The Last of Us Season 2. I am. I think the best episode was episode 2. It was directed by Mark Mylod, I believe is his name. He did some Succession eps, and it shows. I think that's the best episode. I think that's going to end up being like the best episode of the entire show, maybe when it's all said and done. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I think that it's definitely a bit of a step down. But it's more like I'm concerned about how they're going to wrap up this season because they're splitting, I believe, the second game into 2 seasons. We haven't seen Abby in a minute. It's a little alarming, I will admit, but it's not like fortunately for me, I said this to Cam, I'm like, The Last of Us is something that I like. Like, I played the 2 games and I've watched season 1 and like, I kind of watch it in its own bubble. I'm not like so into the fandom that I'm like living and dying by every frame of the show. It's not something like, you know, the MCU that I'm so deeply entrenched in the MCU that I'm like hypercritical of things. And I'm like, oh gosh, this has to be perfect. Like, I'm just an observer. All right. For The Last of Us. I'm not a diehard. And I'm actually glad. I'm glad there are things in this world, movie and TV wise, that like I can just I won't say casually enjoy, but kind of like I'm still critical of things, but it's not like keeping me up at night if they change something from the game to the show because I'm not a diehard. And so I think that's actually helped me a lot with The Last of Us. It's like I just watch this. It's a Sunday night thing I watch, and I don't think about it really until the next Sunday. And I enjoy that hour for the most part. So I like having things like that. Cherry Bomb says it was so disappointing, referring to the Umbrella Academy finale. Yeah, I've heard that, and so that's why I haven't watched it, and I never will probably. I can't see myself, doing it. Just can't see it happening. Okay. All right. I was somewhere in the chat. Okay. Let's find a question. Squid Game is about to be S tier television. I hope so, certainly. I actually quite dug that teaser trailer that we got. So I haven't watched Andor season 2 yet. Talked about that a little earlier in the stream, but I'm honestly gonna just play catch up when it's all out. The 3 episodes, that's 3 hours a week, and that's like a 3-hour movie dropping every week, and it's a little daunting to me. I'll say it. I'm not saying I hate the release format by any means. I know they did it intentionally from what I've heard. It's like each batch of 3 episodes is its own arc, and there's like a time jump in between, so I get that. But it's a little daunting, so I'm kind of just waiting for it all to be out. I'll watch it on my own time. I will watch it on my own time. Okay. Currently watching this now. First episode of The Studio with Scorsese is hilarious. Yeah, I thought they did a great job with that. Thank you, Sal Saperstein. Yeah, what a great ongoing bit. This ep had some great laughs in Adam Scott. Yeah, it was funny. It was funny, man. This is the first live of yours I'm in. Well, welcome. Glad to have you here. Welcome, welcome. Most underrated Disney Plus show. I'm going to say underrated Disney Plus show. I don't know. Maybe Percy Jackson. I know a lot of people love that. There's a fandom, but it's actually just a fun-ass show. So I would say Percy Jackson, probably, season 1. What are your favorite types of videos to make? Great question from Carson. Reviews, vlogs, tier lists, etc. Whew. I would say my favorite videos to make are ones I rarely make, vlogs. I have the most fun with those. Whenever I go to a convention or filming locations, those are the videos where I feel put the most creative effort into them, because with the review, sometimes it's just like, you got to do this video, you got to review this movie, and it's not as fun for me to do. I quite enjoy doing those vlogs. They're treats whenever I get to do them. They're not often, but whenever I go to a convention or a film location, those are such fun videos to make. And I will say I'm going to do another film and location vlog for Stranger Things this year. I did one last year, but I'm probably going to do a couple of them, but I will do one in the fall for sure. After we have seen the season 5 locations, I will be Stranger Things season 5 filming location vlog, because I live in Georgia and they filmed a lot of season 5 in Georgia, but we haven't seen it. So we don't know exactly. We know general vicinity of where they filmed, but once we get new locations, I will be going and making I guess that'll be my final film and location vlog. I'll probably do another one in the summer with a buddy of mine to tease something that's coming. But yeah, for now, those are the next 2 Stranger Things film and location vlogs that I have in mind. But yeah, those are fun. Tier lists are so fun for me. I quite enjoy those. And reviews are, I would say, of the videos I make, reviews are the ones where it's this is going to be, I'm going to be honest in this review and I'm going to get attacked for that. So I can't wait. That's the mindset I have sometimes. It's sad, but it's here we go. I can't wait to get called a shill or a hater. But yeah, it is what it is. Okay. Do you think Sinners has the chance of winning an Oscar? Score. It could definitely win score for Ludwig. I don't think it's going to win it Best Picture or Director, any of that stuff. Above the line stuff, right? But I think it could win score as of right now. Emily says, I want to send in fan mail. Well, I'll keep you guys posted on the potential of a of a PO box. This made me laugh. Just drove by a guy trying to hitchhike in the year 2025. Man, the way that was phrased got me. Okay. Where was I? Carlos says, if you could add a member to the Thunderbolts, who would it be and why? Punisher. I was talking about this with Cam. I was that's the only name I can think of. John Bernthal's Punisher would function perfectly on that team. He is the answer, in my opinion. I can't think of anyone else who would be as good as him on that team of sort of an anti-hero who, yeah, I think that he would be fantastic on that squad. Now, I think that it would mean they have to make it rated R, but a sequel, but anything's possible. But Bernthal's Punisher. Do I think The Rock has the chance to get nominated for the Smashing Machine? No, I don't. I think that it's a valiant effort by him to try something different, and people will acknowledge that. Okay, The Rock trying to do something a little more serious, but I just don't. I don't see a world where the Academy nominates Dwayne The Rock Johnson for an Oscar, especially considering how they handled The Iron Claw. Now, that movie got no Oscar love because it came out so late in the game and A24 didn't campaign it properly. With The Smashing Machine, I want to say it has an early October release, so there'd be more time for it to be properly campaigned. But I'm sorry, I just don't. I saw the trailer, I saw it in theaters even, and I don't have anything against The Rock personally, but nothing I saw in that teaser indicated that he's going to go win an Oscar. I just don't see that happening. I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked. So, especially when I look at like big name actors and the roles they have this year and who could get nominated for lead actor, right? So there's 5 names that'll be nominated. And anytime Leo's in a movie, he's got a fighting chance. And I think he's going to get a nom this year for One Battle After Another, the new Paul Thomas Anderson movie. I believe Marty Supreme comes out this year. The Safdie brother film, not the brothers, the brother. I think it's Josh. Benny is doing The Smashing Machine and Josh is doing Marty Supreme, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. So Timothy Chalamet could get nominated. And then there's obviously going to be, I think there's a film by Luca Guadagnino. Is it called After the Hunt, maybe? And there's apparently like a chance that all 4 acting categories get noms there. I would be shocked if Dwayne Johnson got a nom, is what I'm trying to say. It's not impossible, but good for him for trying something different. That's my big takeaway from it. Who would win in a fight, Axel from Cobra Kai or Hopper? I mean, we're talking about like trained fighters versus your average Joes. I love me some Hopper, but you know what? There wasn't this didn't specify if we were using weapons or not. Even then, I think that if Hopper lands, a right hook on him, I think it's game over. So I would take Hopper. Hopper took out a Demogorgon. Axel's a bum to me. Oh, man. Hey, Chris, considering you have been watching Star Wars as of late, this is correct. I rewatched the prequels and original trilogy. What is your favorite Clone Wars arc? Mine is the final arc, the Siege of Mandalore / and Palpatine's voice, or the 66. Yeah, great pick there. Great pick there. I think that's probably going to be my answer as well, but I don't want to be too basic. Even though, I mean, come on. Some things are basic for a reason. That's elite. Everyone says that for a reason. The stuff on Umbara is great with Pong Krell. What an obscure poll that is, by the way. And, Rex, all the clones on Pong Krell on Umbara. The Mortis stuff, obviously, that's a popular one that's mentioned. Those are like some of the most popular ones for a reason, like I said. So I'd say one of those probably, if you want the truth. You can't handle the truth. Do I like Moon Knight? Pretty ending, in my opinion. Thoughts on GTA 6 getting delayed? Inevitable. Just like Thanos. It was inevitable. I haven't even watched the trailer yet, but I played GTA 5 again, like for a month during the pandemic, and I have not played it since then. Did I watch Ahsoka? I did. You know what I think of sometimes? The end credits music from Ahsoka. Goes pretty hard. The ending of that show, though, at the time there was no season 2 greenlit, and it was like, dude, have finality in your season. It felt so. Basically, the entire show, Ahsoka and Co. Right? They're trying to find Ezra, and like everyone just reverses roles. Like Ezra and Thrawn get back, and they're stuck out there, and it just frustrated the hell out of me. Anyway, let's see. When was the last time you felt like a blockbuster was actually a true blockbuster? In other words, what was the last movie where you felt people lining up blocks to see a movie? I think that my answer for this would be, I mean, like, obviously I don't know if people were ever lining up blocks to see a fairly recent movie because of the change in the world where you can just reserve your tickets online, but I know what you mean. My answer, my thought was still Top Gun Maverick. People were flocking to the theaters to see that film. It got people to go to the movie theater who have not been in decades. My grandpa, for example, went, I don't think he'd been this century, and he went to see Top Gun Maverick. It's just a great film. Rewatched it this past weekend. Incredible stuff. I feel like that was a true blockbuster, meaning it has appeal to everyone. It's not too niche. It's not, and Najah 2, huge movie, but really in America didn't have a big impact. The Avatar movies, I think those are maybe the most fraudulent blockbusters. What I mean by that is they hold little to no impact in the long run. They make a ton of money, worldwide especially, but I feel like it's always gimmicky. They're like, go see it in IMAX Dolby and all the, 3D Dolby and IMAX and all this stuff. but people aren't talking about that movie forever. It doesn't have, it doesn't leave a massive impact in our culture, in our society. I feel like Top Gun Maverick did. So I would say Top Gun Maverick is the last true blockbuster, unless I'm forgetting something. I mean, obviously we have things like Endgame, but Maverick is not a superhero movie. It's not, oh, you got to go see the visuals. You got to pay a ticket go pay for a ticket to see the visuals. It's just go see this great damn movie that everyone can probably love. I'd say Top Gun Maverick. But to go even further back where people were lining up around the block, I mean, I'll go pre-invention of advanced tickets and merchandise, or picking your seat out online, right? I remember Jurassic World was like it was right around the time when like theaters were starting to introduce, you could reserve your seats, but there were still a lot of like classic theaters out there where you had to just go early. And I saw Jurassic World with a buddy opening weekend, and it was like, we got there and there was a line out the theater to get in just to get our seats. Force Awakens as well. Like 2015 was like the last year of those existing, but even further back, I think the Phantom Menace maybe, or like the prequels, people were lining up around the blocks to see them. Still, interesting question. I have not seen From. I've been asked this in like every stream. I've never seen it. Mad Max, love the username and profile picture, says, in your opinion, which character was your favorite addition to the MCU post-Endgame? It used to be like, oh, maybe it's Shang-Chi, or maybe it's, so-and-so. It's pretty Kate Bishop really was in that conversation, but it's pretty clear to me after Thunderbolts that it's Yelena Belova. She is been in 3 projects, half the season of Hawkeye, Black Widow, and of course Thunderbolts. And Yelena is the best addition, in my opinion. Also my favorite addition in terms of characters post-Endgame. Now, I could say Bernthal's Punisher, but he's been around. That's not a new character. He's been around before Endgame, just not like officially in the MCU, but Yelena is going to be my answer. I've been told I should watch Dexter lots. This is an interesting take. I just started Dexter. It's not as good as you, but it's still solid. His voiceover is pretty chilling. Interesting. Okay. Not as good as you. I haven't seen Dexter, so yeah. Raphael says, how excited are you for Final Destination? I got my tickets. I'm seeing it is that next week? I'm seeing that next week. So yeah, that's, yes, I'm seeing that next week on Thursday. Wow. This month's going to fly by. I actually have not watched the trailer intentionally. I've seen like the teaser for the trailer, which was like a 15-second thing of glass breaking on like a bar, I'm pretty sure, and then it getting like scooped into a drink because it was like mixed in with the ice, but I haven't watched the actual trailer. At this point, I'm not going to. There's no need. I know I'm going to see the movie. I feel like it would just spoil all the kills. And so I don't even know what the premonition is. And I'm sure the trailer probably touched on that, but like every Final Destination movie has this opening premonition. The first one's iconic with the plane. The third one's a roller coaster. Second one is on the highway with like a log truck. Fourth is, I believe, like at a NASCAR type race or F1. And then the fifth is the bridge scene. And so I have no clue what the premonition is going to be in this one. And I don't want to know, honestly. So I'm like, I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm good. We're good. All right. Would I watch Dexter Resurrection on July 11th? I'd have to watch all of Dexter first. Okay. I know it's old, but have you seen Spree starring Joe Keery? I want to know your opinion because I want to watch it. I have seen Spree. Spree is a dark film. It's a bit disturbing. It's like all found footage where like the whole movie is shot through like security cameras or like dash cams or phone cameras. So it was unique in a sense. Joe Keery has fun in the role. It's darkly comedic, but it is kind of disturbing. So just know that going in, but it's got like elements of a slasher to it as well. Dewey, the David Arquette, I want to say, is in it. The guy who plays Dewey in Scream. And there's some funny bits with him and Joe Keery, but yeah, there's some disturbing moments too. So just know that going in. But I recommend it if you're a Joe Keery fan, especially. What's your favorite Phase 1 film in the MCU? You might think I'm saying of Avengers. Give me Iron Man. Iron Man is to this day a top 5 MCU movie for me, and some days it's 3. Some days it's 3. I love that movie so much. Can quote it left and right. It flows really well. It kickstarted the whole MCU. It's simple origin story. Yeah, great cast. Jeff Bridges is Obadiah. I mean, people forget Jeff Bridges in the MCU, and he has one of the best line deliveries as well. Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps. Like the way that he pauses in between. Iconic stuff. And plus the soundtrack, it hits. Little AC/DC. Oof. Leanna, shout out Leanna. Do you think we'll get anything from Netflix upfronts for Stranger Things? I think it's odd that the Stranger Things 25 calendar has Stranger Things printed on the 14th, and that's when upfronts is, as far as I know. Interesting point. I think I've seen people bring this up online, and it was a while back. I want to say damn near January. Someone posted a screenshot on like Twitter of the calendar for Stranger Things. You can get like from Netflix, the website, you can get like calendars based on different shows, Outer Banks, whatever it may be. Well, on this one, there is something printed on the 14th of May. At the time, kind of meant nothing. People were like, oh, maybe it's a release date. Obviously, that's not going to be the case. But you make a very good point here, Leanna, because that is Netflix up front. Is there something on the 31st as well? Because if so, that could be telling. But the 14th, oh man. If we got something on the 14th, that would be awesome. I think they could give us a tease that, hey, tune into TUDUM to see the full thing. But a point I've made in my recent video and a point I've really been dwelling on is Wednesday, Squid Game. Those are the two other big shows coming out from Netflix. The trio of shows is Wednesday, Squid Game, Stranger Things. Squid Game and Wednesday are both going to be at TUDUM as well. And so you would think, oh, they'll just wait and premiere some trailers on TUDUM. Well, Squid Game this week dropped the teaser, and Wednesday, about a week or two ago, dropped a teaser. And so anything's possible here. And I feel like Stranger Things might want to stir up the excitement before. So I think worst case scenario, we get our first footage at TUDUM, May 31st, still this month. Best case scenario is a week from today. Sorry, I just hit my computer. We get something. I'm optimistic that we get like a poster and maybe like a quick 30-second teaser around the 14th. I'm not expecting that, but that's just like me being optimistic, probably too optimistic. But 1,000,000%, I would say almost, with certainty, the 31st, we're going to get something. We'll see. What's your favorite MCU movie? Give me Infinity War or give me Death. Roberto, my day is going well. How about yourself? MCU worthy Cap versus Thor, who Thor destroys Captain America, in my opinion. Have you watched Fear Street? I haven't, but I'm going to watch the trilogy before Fear Street Prom Queen. I'll be on it. Favorite You season finale? Season 1 or season 2, probably. Season 2, actually. Season 2 had a great finale, in my opinion. 3 was also, could have ended the show. So 1, 2, or 3, not 4. 5 was fine. 5 actually had a pretty insane sequence out in the woods. When Joe's like chasing Bronte. He said, I say it like that because he would always go, Bronte. Like the way that he just delivers that line, Bronte. Said her name like 1,000,000 times this season. But yeah, not season 4. Season 4 was the worst season. Most underrated MCU character, Ant-Man? Off the top of my head, I'm probably forgetting a lot of people though. Let's see. Are you able to tour some of the movie studios in Atlanta? I know the new Captain America and Thunderbolts movie were filmed at one of the studios. I haven't looked into that, honestly, so I have no idea, but it could be a fun thing to do. I've never toured a movie studio in Atlanta, though, but I've been out to the Warner Bros. Lot in LA. Very cool experience. By the way, we have 100 people in here, so hit that like button if you're in here. Helps out a lot. Let's get to 100 likes. It's always a goal. 100 likes on the stream would be great. Super chat is a way to go to guarantee I get to your question, comment, concern. We're having a fun stream. I say we keep it going, but super chat's the way, again, to guarantee I get right to your question. Huge way to help support the channel. Anything goes a long way. Nothing's expected, but if you want to guarantee I get to it, I'm trying to get to as many of these questions as I can. There's no way I'm going to be able to get to them all, but super chat is the way to go. Frecky says, imagine after losing Eddie, Dustin's haunted by guilt in season 5. When Steve's in danger, Dustin steps in. This time, he won't let it end the same way. Oof. If they killed Dustin, though, like, I'm out. I might walk off. I might walk out and rage quit the show. I think he's so, it would be so cruel to kill him, you know? Oh, But I don't think they also would kill Steve because that would put him through too much trauma. I mean, him losing his two older brother figures in the show would be too much. Oh, man. Brutal. Which actors do you want to be in Avengers Doomsday after we saw the cast announcements? Roberto, great question, because I've heard murmurs from the scoopers out there, which take everything with a grain of salt, that this Thursday, we're going to get the rest of the Doomsday cast announcement. Could be big. Could be back with another stream like I did last time in a couple days. You know what's funny is that tomorrow's Thursday. I'm acting like it's like 3 days away. It's Wednesday. So tomorrow, we might actually get Avengers news for Doomsday for the rest of the cast. I think I saw Brie Larson comment that like a new chapter begins on Thursday, and I've seen some other people, like inside scooper people, like leak who the rest of the cast is. So based on that list we've seen, it looks like we're getting a lot of names. I don't think that Tom Holland Spider-Man is going to be attached, though. I think the next time we see him is in his own Spider-Man movie. But I want to see like a ton of people. I want to see some more of those X-Men. I want to see Hugh Jackman. I want to see Ryan Reynolds. I want to see who else? I mean, I would love to see Strange in there. I know he wasn't on the initial list. I'd love to see Peter Quill, Star-Lord. So, I mean, yeah, bring it on. Bring it all on. All right, let's keep it going in the chat. Fire and Ash sweep. Have you seen The Place Beyond the Pines? I've seen The Place Beyond the Pines. I watched it in college with my freshman year roommate, and like the first 35-ish minutes of the movie, we like paused it and we're like, this is potentially one of the best movies we've ever seen. Like I was on cloud 9. I was like, this is the sickest thing ever. Ryan Gosling is like a bank robber riding a dirt bike with bleach blonde hair, and he's with like Ben Mendelsohn playing his next heist out in the woods. It's crazy cool. And then I don't want to spoil anything, but each act of the movie has a perspective switch. And I already feel like I'm saying too much, but you'd think Ryan Gosling's the lead of the whole movie, but it's like, nope. Bradley Cooper's in this movie and Dane DeHaan's in this movie. And it's like, damn, you're following. I think it's ambitious. It's ambitious. I would have to watch it again knowing what I'm getting myself into. But I swear the first 30-ish minutes of that movie, I never really talk about this. Gavin, you asked the best questions, dude. Shout out Gavin. But you stirred up a memory in me. I watched that movie and I was like giddy. I was like, oh my God. Like there's one sequence in particular where they're like robbing the bank and he like peels out on the dirt bike and there's like a chase and he goes out in the woods and they're at Mendelsohn's place. I was like, this is awesome. And the middle act's fine, but the third act's really what lost me. Shocking things happen though. It's one of those movies I forget exists. And I will say I hate to say this because it's kind of cliche, but it's too damn long. I think it's like 2 hours 25. Give me the first act of that movie as a full movie, and I'm a happy man. But maybe that defeats the purpose. I just wanted to see more of it. We got a super chat from Prod Juicy. Thank you so much. First stream I've been able to catch. I salute you. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Quick question. Are you excited to see David Harbour's Red Guardian interact with Joseph Quinn's Human Torch Stranger Things Supremacy? Stranger Things Supremacy, baby. I almost just did a chant. Woo! That's what I'll do. I don't want to pull your ears out too much. I got excited there thinking about the potential of this. Yes. My answer to this question is yes. I think they intentionally put the two names next to each other. In the cast reveal for Doomsday, they went David Harbour and Joseph Quinn, the two Stranger Things names next to each other. We could be adding Sadie Sink to this list eventually, by the way. I think they will have a funny interaction. And honestly, they could even do something meta for the fans. I doubt it, but could you imagine if there was an interaction between Human Torch and Red Guardian that referenced like Metallica or referenced something Stranger Things related? I think it would be hilarious. It might be too meta, but it would mean a lot for the Stranger Things fans. And yeah, I think there's going to be some great banter between characters in that movie. And I don't want to dive into the Thunderbolts post-credit scene too much, but I saw a post from RDJ, which no one's mentioned in the chat, by the way. RDJ like posted with like half the cast of Doomsday. or like a fourth, I should say, really. And in that cast picture, we saw Evan Moss-Backrack and Vanessa Kirby, but no Pedro Pascal and no Joseph Quinn. So I said to Cam, I'm still going to be vague, by the way. I don't want to be an outright asshole and spoil Thunderbolts, even though I think every single one of you has probably seen it if you're in here. I'm pretty confident in that. Still, I'm going to play it safe because it's live. It's not a video where you can skip ahead. So, is there a potential where the Fantastic Four show up in Doomsday and there could be some existing division between character groups that has arisen post Thunderbolts? And in this world, this hypothetical world that I'm pitching, half the Fantastic Four are on one side of that division and half the Fantastic Four are on the other side. I think that would be fascinating. I don't know how it would work, but could you imagine the internal rift between the family? They'd be like, you know what? We don't agree with this. So we're going to go with these guys and we're going to go with these guys. And then they split up the Fantastic Four for a bit. That would be wild. Think about it. Maybe, maybe not. But no, thank you for joining the stream, and I love doing these streams. They're some of my favorite. To answer a call back to earlier, someone asked, what is your favorite thing to film? A tier list, a vlog, a review. Live streams high up there. Live streams have my heart. I don't do them as much as I used to, but it's always so much damn fun to get on here and talk with you guys. So great question. Stranger Things Supremacy, you already know. And yes, I'm very excited to see those characters interact. Very excited. Okay. Nerdy with Autism says, I recently got over 4,000 subscribers on my channel. Congrats. That's awesome. Quick question. What summer movie are you looking forward to the most? I am going to say the movie that was my most anticipated of the year, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Very excited for the film. Also trying to not have expectations for anything, though, moving forward. Because for movies, that is. Not in life, just movies. Because apparently it just bites me in the butt a lot of the time. So I still will say I'm confident in the film to be good. It's Tom Cruise and Mission Impossible doesn't miss. In my opinion, they haven't missed. So I have no reason to believe this movie's going to stink. But I'm not going to go in expecting it to be the best Mission Impossible movie or the best action movie ever, because that's not fair. I should need to go and watch the movie and see what they got for us. So that's my answer, though. Leanna says, Stranger Things aside, are there any other franchises you'd like to do film location vids for, movie or TV? Great question. You guys are crushing it with the questions tonight, by the way, or whatever time of day it is for you. It's 6:56 in the evening for me. Yes, absolutely. I've never done a Cobra Kai one, and I know that Cobra Kai just came to an end, and I should have probably done one then, but I live in Georgia, and Cobra Kai filmed a lot in Georgia. I technically have been to Marvel filming locations with Cam. That was back in 2021. Time's flying. It was right around the time of Loki. We went to the Marriott Marquis in Atlanta. It's where they filmed the TVA, like the big elevator. They also used it for Catching Fire, the big elevator there. So we've been to that. We went to Steve Rogers' house from Endgames. These are like locations that are not far from where I currently reside, which is crazy. I could get in my car and I could go to where they filmed, I could go to Hawkins Lab, Steve Rogers' house, and the LaRusso dealership in like an hour. 3 different fandoms right there, which is nuts. But yeah, I'd say an MCU filming location vlog would be great. A lot of fun. And if we're talking dreamers who can dream here, Star Wars would be really cool. But I don't want to go to Tunisia because that's expensive. Anyway, that would be fun though. Ooh, love the variety of fandom questions, by the way. This might be, for me, I'm having a blast. With the stream. Do I think Homelander will die in The Boys Season 5? I think he has to die. This is not going to be he dies or he's imprisoned. Homelander must pay the price. He must go down. And with him, Butcher's got to go down. I think that if those two survive, I will be disappointed. And it's one of the few instances where I'm like, of a show where I'm like, if they don't die, I'll be mad. Because usually I'm like, no, I want characters to live. Homelander must die. He must die. And I felt with shows before, I'm like, this character's got to die. And they die. And I'm like, yes, they did it. Like Game of Thrones killed a lot of people. Another show I recommend highly, I won't say the title of because of spoilers. A lot of people died in the finale, though. I was like, damn, they did it. And I think that The Boys is one of those shows where, like, we've reached the final season. They've proven time and time again they're not afraid to pull punches and go for it with killing big-name characters. They must kill in this season. And it's like their brand. It's not off-brand. Like Stranger Things killing, kind of off-brand. Cobra Kai killing people, not on brand, but Homelander dying makes the most sense to me. And truly, I believe he will die. I think Butcher will die. I think Huey will live. I think one of these three characters will die. Frenchie, Mother's Milk, Kimiko. I think it's going to be Frenchie probably. So there's going to be a high body count, I think, in season 5, which, by the way, I don't care. I'm excited. I've kept this up. The Boys is good. I'm probably going to replace this soon, so enjoy this while it's here. But I meant to be honest with you. But I quite like The Boys. Season 4 was a step down, in my opinion, but it ended on such a high note. And I'll say this as well. If we want to go to war, we'll go to war. Give me The Boys over Invincible. I said it. It's all 104 of you in here. Give me The Boys over Invincible. I said that to my buddy RJ the other day, and he was like, damn, like I didn't expect that. And I was like, I mean it. Give me The Boys over Invincible. Another super chat from Gavin. Shout out, Gavin. Coming with the heat. Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu or Bong Joon-ho. Okay. On the one hand, with Bong, you've got Parasite, Best Picture winner, beloved. You got Memories of Murder, which I watched for a film class back in the day. Haunting film that I'll never watch again. And you got, Mickey 17. Never watched, what was that movie called with Jake Gyllenhaal? Not Ozark. Oju? What's that movie? You know what I'm talking about. It's not far from Oju. It's not Oju though, is it? Okja. I was 1 letter off. 2 letters off. Okja, never seen. Snowpiercer, haven't seen. Alejandro hit us with he had an incredible run. Was that 14 and 15? He did Revenant in 15 and Birdman in 14. He has a Best Picture winner as well in Birdman. Revenant's solid. I think it really just boils down to one of these guys made Parasite and the other didn't, and so I go Bong Joon-ho. But Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu, I think he has a new movie coming out with Tom Cruise that I'm pretty intrigued by because Tom Cruise hasn't done like a dramatic acting role in a hot minute. And if he's channeling his Magnolia, you know what I'm talking about, his Oscar-nominated performance in Magnolia, give it to me. By the way, I love questions like this because sometimes, if I may say, to all 102 of you in here, I often talk exclusively about Marvel, Stranger Things, Star Wars, etc. But I do like to dig back into the dramatic films of the world that I don't always often get the chance to discuss. Like this kind of question, I feel like I can tap into that a little bit. So thank you, Gavin, for the super chat and the question. Okay. Some of these questions. Oh, man. Someone says, who's better, Anakin or the Holy Spirit? What kind of question? That's great. Okay. Ooh, I like this one from Mike. How long do you think the Stranger Things 5 teaser will be? I feel like it's most likely one teaser before the official trailer. That means the teaser has to be longer side, at least 1:30. Yeah, I was thinking about 1:30 to 1:45, but also wouldn't be surprised if they did a 2-minute one because I'm pretty sure Wednesdays was like 2:20. Like a teaser trailer nowadays is not a teaser. And there's arguments over the use of language like it's a teaser, but oftentimes it's a teaser trailer. It's still a trailer. A teaser, if you want to see a teaser, look up on YouTube right now, Star Trek 2009 teaser. That's a teaser. You want to see a teaser? I'm trying to think of a great example of like an actual teaser. Because way back in the day, growing up, they don't do this anymore. Like a movie, you would go see a movie in like May of 2005, okay? And you would see a teaser for a movie that doesn't come out until May of 2026 or 2006. So a year away. And it would be like a 35-second thing. It would be like some music would swell. It would go dun, in 2000 in the summer of 2006. Prepare to go beyond. And then it's like a shot of like the Enterprise or something. And then it hits you with like a character next to a ship and a logo. Like that's a teaser. I think that Pixar still does them. Like they'll have like the Toy Story 5 logo and like this, characters pop up. That's a teaser. It feels weird. Like the Tron Ares dropped a teaser trailer. There's meat on the bone. Like that's more of a trailer to me. So, a teaser it's like little to no dialogue. and it's like a minute tops to me. Now, again, it's kind of all just a big argument about the language that we use to describe something. But, if we get footage and it's a minute plus, it's a trailer, it's a teaser trailer. So anyway, I think it'll be about a minute and a half to a minute 45. Okay. Who's better, Hopper or Murray? Easily Hopper. Easily Hopper. Not even up for debate. How many Funko Pops do I have? I actually don't know. I really don't know. Truth be told, I don't know. What is that blue poster on your wall for the boys right here? Carlos says, are you going to make a trailer breakdown for Stranger Things 5? Yes. So if you're not subscribed, I'm assuming all of you in here are subscribed and have the notification bell turned on. I will be like, that is a national holiday for me. Okay. Like that day, it's at 8:00 my time at night. I'm downing Dr. Pepper, Diet Dr. Pepper or Dr. Pepper Zero, all day. And then when that stream starts, I will be on it, because if we get a trailer for Squid Game or Outer Banks, like I'm covering that, but we're all here for Stranger Things. And what I intend to do is have a reaction video, follow that up with a trailer breakdown, follow that up with a theory video based on what we saw. It's going down. It's going down. I cannot wait. I'm like excited for that. Like it's Georgia football. Like I'm ready. So yes, it's going to be insane. Sam says, which Spidey is your favorite? It depends on the day. All right. I'll answer it this way. My favorite movies, the Raimi trilogy. So Toby. Who embodies the character the best as a whole, Peter and Spider, and really just elicits a joy that's indescribable? I'm going to say Andrew Garfield. Just like feeling hopeful, like the end of Tazan 2. I mean, neither of the other two could do that as much. And then Tom is maybe like the best because he's like age accurate and he brings this youth to the role that the other two kind of lack. So, I mean, they're all great for different reasons. Which do I prefer, Scream or Final Destination? Scream. But the Final Destination franchise is very solid horror. Liana says, do you have a meet and greet wish list? Who would be your top 3? David Harbour's number 1. For multiple reasons, obviously. Hopper, but also because he is Red Guardian now. I have that to talk about if I view him. That's number 1 by a country mile. Number 2 on that list, I mean, I've met a lot. Fortunately, I've had the opportunity to meet a lot of the casts of shows at cons near me over the past 2 to 3 years. And I mean, I've met a lot of the Stranger Things cast because of one convention. Shoot. Yeah, I mean, that's honestly, the Duffer Brothers. I have their Funko over here. No, you can't see it. Hold on. Wrong way. You guys see it? Boop. Right there. Has the light blinds. I need to get a better backlight for my whole setup. Topic for another time. But yeah, the Duffer Brothers, I would love to pick their brain. I would love to interview them one day. If I got the chance to interview anyone, I'd want to interview the Duffer Brothers. And then to I guess, get away from Stranger Things, I think I am going to meet Tanner and Mary from Cobra Kai in this summer. They're coming to Atlanta Comic-Con. So I think that'll be cool. But like an insane pull, like someone who I'm never going to actually meet. I don't know. Someone like RDJ. I mean, that's never going to happen, but it would be really cool to actually be able to meet him, but it's never going to happen. It shows the premonition in the trailer, so stay away from it. Yeah, I'm not going to watch the trailer then. Not doing it. What would be your Gladiator 3 pitch? My Gladiator 3 pitch for you, Box Hunter, would be this. It involves retconning the second film, okay? So get ready for a little bit of a rant. We're actually going to scrap everything that happened in Gladiator 2. It's still canon, technically, but we're actually going to make sort of an expanded universe that is its own thing. And we're going to ignore everything that happens. So Joseph Quinn, I believe he plays Emperor Gaeta. He's alive. Pedro's alive. And here's what we're going to do. Instead of having Lucius in the film, which Paul Mescal plays, we're actually not even going to have him in the film because that felt like an obligatory connection to the original that was not needed. What we're going to do instead is we're going to follow General Acacius, played by Pedro Pascal, and his rise to power alongside the twin emperors. And what's going to happen is he's going to see their corruption, and he's not going to want to be, the lead man for these bloodthirsty conquerings they have in mind. And so he's going to get sick of them. and he's going to try and start his own uprising in the shadows, which he still does in the second movie. And he's going to get caught, and he's going to be the main gladiator of the film. He's going to have to be thrown into the ring. Denzel is still going to be working, pulling the strings behind the scene, doing all this stuff. And it's just going to be a lot better to see, and we're going to care more about Pedro Pascal because he was already the best character in that movie, in my opinion, Acacius, that is. And we don't need to have this obligatory connection to make it a sequel. We can just redo the second film, but make it with Pedro Pascal as the lead. I think that that's what they wanted to do. They just couldn't do it. So what are we going to get? I don't know. I couldn't tell you for money. Pretty sure everyone died in Gladiator 2, except for Paul Mescal. Everyone died. Spoilers, I guess. Denzel, Pedro, Connie Nielsen, the two emperors. What are we even doing? I don't know. Time jump. You got to time jump it somehow. I could not tell you. I honestly think you might have to time jump way further and not even have Paul Mescal in this movie and just call it Gladiator 3 and recast Lucius, and he's old now. And then have a new young gun, because I don't know if Paul Mescal is meant to be in the. I don't know. Gladiator 2. I saw that movie twice in theaters. I was so torn up inside about it. So, okay. What's the most shocking moment in Game of Thrones? Probably gonna have to say the Red Wedding. I had no clue it was coming. I had been spoiled for certain deaths, but I had no idea that was happening. And it genuinely, my jaw was on the floor. When do you think we get the full Squid Game trailer? TUDUM. Because it comes out June 27th, the season, and that's less than a month out. TUDUM, May 31st is less than a month away from June 27th. Thoughts on Thunderbolts, guys? I'm liking it more and 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 more. And that's the beauty of seeing movies more than once. That is the beauty of rewatching films, frankly. I had a certain set of expectations for that movie. Walking out initially, I was a bit disappointed. I still have cons with the film. I've seen it 3 times and I still have certain issues. But those issues are starting to dissipate. They're starting to go away. Quite enjoy the film. It is my second favorite movie of the year, and I made a review where I was still positive on the movie and gave it a 7 out of 10 initially, 3.5 out of 5. And somehow that video was interpreted as me hating on the movie somehow. I don't understand it. I don't get things. But yeah, I've seen it 3 times now, and it's just continuing to grow on me. So last MCU movie, I've seen a good bit of MCU movies 3 times. The last one I saw 3 times was Deadpool and Wolverine. Before that, I think it was surprisingly Multiverse of Madness, not intentionally. I did not want to see that movie again in theaters, but I went one of those times with Cam because I was out of town and she had not seen it. So I wanted to be a good boyfriend at the time, because I'm not a boyfriend anymore. I'm a fiance. And then the second time, yeah. And the first time was at the premiere, which was really cool. But anyway, enough about that. Okay. Back to the chat. I'm out of water, by the way. I'm bone dry on water. Okay. Gotta find my spot. There it was. And again, appreciate you guys if you've been rocking in the stream the whole time. If you watch, if you're still in here, if you've been in and out, if you sent a super chat, if you liked, if you're just watching in the silence. Thank you for being here. Top 3 MCU TV shows: Daredevil, Born Again, Loki. And you know what? I can't say X-Men because I haven't finished it yet, but I'm gonna say, I might just say it's either Hawkeye or the Falcon and the Winter Soldier off the top of my head. Have you seen any movie in IMAX 70mm? Never. And it's a bummer. I want to. I would have loved to have caught Oppenheimer, but I just never did. It was always sold out. That's what it was. It was so damn difficult to get a ticket. Every time they would drop them, the seats would sell out instantly. I was going to try and go, but I just couldn't get it. Got any cons planned for this year? Atlanta. I'll be there. Hope to see you there. If you're there, let me know, man. We'll have to meet up. But I'm going to that one, and probably for a day. I'm not going a long time. I just want to meet Terry, Tanner Buchanan, and Mary Mauser. That'll complete my Cobra Kai shrine for the most part. I mean, obviously, I'd want to meet Thomas Ian Griffith. That's going to be tougher, but I'll be there. Atlanta Comic-Con, July 18th, 19th, 20th, I believe, are those dates. I don't know what day I'm going yet, but probably Friday, if I had to guess. I don't know, though. Again, I don't know yet. Got to figure that out. And my boy, my friend in the chat, my mod, you will be with me right here. Boom. Okay, more chairs tomorrow, maybe. Cross your fingers. Will they do chairs again? I kind of hope they do. Why not? Some men just want to watch the world burn. Favorite Star Wars meme? Oh, I don't know, honestly, off the top of my head. There was like a time when Star Wars memes were popping, like in 2020, 2021. And I don't know. I can't think of any now that I find as funny as I did then. Like I used to like really eat those up. Favorite Star Wars meme? I mean, I used to think like, yeah, a lot of the prequels quotes were funny, and like they still are, but I don't know. Maybe I aged out of some of the memes, honestly. I can't think of one off the top of my head. Maybe hello there, if I had to be honest, though. Oh, do it. The quotes. Okay, I was looking at meme. I'm like, I couldn't think of a meme. I'm kind of going to interpret this as like quotes in a sense of like how Spider-Man 3 is memey. It's a meme-ish film, easily memeable. I'm going to just view like the entirety of Revenge of the Sith is basically a meme then in that sense. I was just having a language issue there. Yeah, this one's incredible. Do it. I'm going to say this, and it's going to be controversial, so get ready. I've rewatched the prequel trilogy this past week, and I hate to say this. I'm not trying to spread hate at this actor. I just got to say it. I got to own it. It's sad to say, but Hayden Christensen is not a good actor, and I have nothing against him. I'm not hating on him. He's just not a good actor. And I honestly think about it a lot. If another actual good actor had been in that role, how much better of a movie Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith would have been. Ewan McGregor is a good actor. And so the argument that the dialogue is the reason that he can't act well, Hayden I'm referring to, is nonsense. Because, yeah, the dialogue cheesy, but Ewan McGregor has no issues delivering those lines. You have done that yourself. Like he doesn't sound corny. Just watch the final act of Revenge of the Sith, and it's bad, guys. And I've always known this. I just try not to bring it up, but I can't run from it anymore. I'm sorry. I haven't seen what the chat's saying in reaction to this, but yeah. Sorry. Had to be said. Okay. Anyway, had to get that off my chest, but no. There are some lines, especially in Clones, that are just brutal. Which Attack of the Clones, by the way, bad movie. It's I defend the Phantom Menace, and honestly, I defend Revenge of the Sith, but I cannot defend Attack of the Clones. I still give it like a 5 out of 10. 2.5 out of 5. Nostalgia, but it's not. It's the worst prequel by far. Even Phantom Menace on rewatches time, I was like, man, this is I soft spot, right? 7 out of 10 still, maybe generous too, but the political plotting, it bogs those movies down, guys. That's why Revenge of the Sith's last act really carries the movie, because even the first act, there's so much. I mean, I still got movie 4.5 out of 5. I probably overrate the prequels, honestly, across the board. But yeah, Revenge of the Sith, even the first, like after they land back on Coruscant, it's like it feels like an hour and a half of just the Senate and the Jedi Council like at it with each other. Oh, Palpatine. Oh, Anakin, spy on the Jedi Council. Be my spy. Oh, Anakin, you got to spy on Palpatine. Oh, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, damn. Anyway, okay. Have I seen Sinners yet? I have seen Sinners. I have a star rating on my Letterboxd. I want to watch Sinners again at some point. I think Sinners to me was solid. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5, which is a good rating. I honestly, when I walked out of the movie, I was like, really well shot. Coogler knows what he's doing. Dug the score. The movie is marketed as this horror film, this vampire film, and like I kept checking the time when I was watching. I was like, I actually this is shocking. I liked the first hour of that movie more than what we got when it turned into a vampire film. I was like here for the world building with the brothers. I was like, I want to see a whole movie about their backstory. Them coming back, setting up, the juke joint, as they call it, like that. I was really actually invested in that. And then it turns into the vampire movie. And that's when I was like, I'm kind of checking out. And like, this is what it's pitched as. I know it's just, I think the movie, when I saw it, I was like, oh, it's relying so heavily on this big reveal of, vampires. But that's so late in the game. It's like a third act thing. Like, yes, we have the Irish dude whose name is escaping me, who like shows up to those two people's house. Like, that's one quick scene. We don't have like the vampire stuff until the third act. And then it kind of lost me there. Like, I was genuinely liking the movie more as sort of like a period piece about the twins and like their return back to, the South. Like, that was more interesting to me. I'll watch it again and I hope I like it more, but I wasn't blown away by it. I know a lot of people were, but I wasn't. I want to be, but I just wasn't. Super chat from Cameron says, what do you think a tariff on foreign film does? Yeah. This is news that came out recently that I believe my understanding of limited, to be honest, is that films not shot in the U.S., and feel free to do your own research because I don't know exactly what I'm talking about here, okay, is that films not shot in the U.S. will be taxed, I believe. So even films that are U.S. productions like Doomsday or an Avatar movie or etc., they're being taxed heavily. And honestly, I'm not an expert on these kinds of things, but I think it's weird that is just a focus in general in the world of politics, the movie industry. They're just so vastly different to me. That's my response to that. It's just weird. That's my answer. It's very strange and random to me that this is something that is of any concern. And also it's like, it will, hurt smaller films, especially, and foreign films that they're going to come into the US. So it's weird all around, right? I don't know. That's my limited understanding of it as someone who doesn't have the best understanding on all those things. But thank you for the super chat. Every rewatch makes me love Place Beyond the Pines more. Very nice. I'm sure a rewatch would help. I just haven't seen that since like 2019. It was pre-Letterboxd. It was before I had Letterboxd. Okay. Favorite Cobra Kai actor? It's a difficult question. So I'm not saying my favorite character. I'm saying my favorite actor. Am I talking about their acting abilities or like my favorite cast member? Damn near Mary Mauser. Sholo's up there though. Probably one of them off the top of my head. Do you think they'll recast Tom Holland after Secret Wars? He joined the MCU at 18 and now reaching 30 and already had his trilogy. No, I think that he's going to re-sign and just do another Spider-Man trilogy. I think he'll be in Brand New Day. He'll be in Secret Wars probably. And then I think he's got 2 more Spider-Man movies. And after that, he might want to hang it up. We'll see. That might open the door to like Miles Morales live action after that. We shall see. Okay. I've never seen The Walking Dead. Have you seen Warrior 2011? Yes. One time. I now own it on Blu-ray. I got it at a used Blu-ray shop the other month. I saw it once, and honestly, it was probably 2012, 2013. Really, really well done movie. Moved me to tears. Have not watched it since then. So it's been over a decade since I have seen that movie. Speaking of movies I haven't seen in a while, Wind River. I have seen Wind River. And yeah, it's another hard watch. It's like a one-watch film to me, but it's well done. Taylor Sheridan, I believe, directs. Very dark film, but a solid one at that. Dustin or Lucas? I've always had a soft spot for Dustin, but I don't like to pit them against each other. They're both great characters. I have not watched The Pit, but I have a buddy who did. He said it's worth watching. It's like 24 meets Grey's Anatomy, dare I say? Murray or Joyce? Better character-wise, Joyce. Murray is funny. Murray's the comedic relief, but he's incomparable really to a lot of these other characters, in my opinion. I mean, Murray's, again, he's got his moments, but Joyce is mother. She's mother. Favorite director, Spielberg or Nolan? I am doing a Spielberg journey at my own pace, by the way. I haven't forgotten about it for those who are wondering. And the next movie up is the second Jurassic Park. But regardless, I think I go Spielberg. He's just made all-time classics that I go to often in Jurassic Park, in Raiders, in E.T., in, you know, the serious dramatic films of Saving Private Ryan, the Schindler's List of the world. Like, he is West Side Story, one of my favorite musical movies. That was recent. So he's proven over decades that he can do it in a variety of genres at the highest level. Every decade, at least one film gets nominated for like Best Picture. So I would have to say Spielberg, but Nolan is the man. Nolan makes event films, and Nolan's right up there. So I don't think Nolan's made a bad movie. I think Spielberg has. So yeah, it's tough. It's tough to compare. Yes, TUDUM will stream on Netflix on the 31st, which is a Saturday at the end of the month, the last day of May. It'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern. I think that we're going to get this week because I'm delusional. I think we're going to get the next batch of the cast this week. Again, I am delusional. Do I think Fantastic Four would be better than Thunderbolts? I don't want to compare the two, but I feel pretty good about Fantastic Four. So yeah, we'll see. I think it could be on par with, if not maybe better. I don't think it'll be worse than I think that it'll be better than Brave New World. I think it'll be better than the Marvels. I think it'll be better than Quantumania. I think it's got a really good chance to be the best Fantastic Four movie, and that's not crazy. I think it has a chance to be better than Thunderbolts as well, but we'll see. We just got to go see what they have for us. Thoughts on Conclave, the movie or the real world scenario right now? Conclave, the movie, made my top 10 last year. Really well made movie. The score by, I believe it was it Edward Berger, or did he direct the film? Who composed that movie? Let's look it up. Conclave score. Nope. Volker Bertelmann. Edward Berger is the one who directed the film. Okay. Yeah, it's a very interesting look at the election of a new pope. The papacy, I believe they call it. It has a thrilling score, and it's a movie that is about picking the new pope, but it's so well written that it plays out like almost a thriller. So I recommend it. Had a bit of a rush ending, in my opinion, but other than that, I was in. And Ralph Fiennes, he really can't deliver a bad performance. He should have won. Probably should have won. A lot of people think he won for his supporting role in Schindler's List as Eamon Goth, one of like the head, yeah, one of the head like evil folk at the camp. I don't want to say certain words, but he's a scumbag in that movie. He's evil. He is evil. Do you think we could get a Stranger Things summer? I think this is going to be a Stranger Things summer, not in the sense of, oh, we're getting Stranger Things this summer, but we're getting marketing this summer. I would be willing to bet we're going to get the teaser to TUDUM, and then we're going to get a trailer or another teaser July 15th, which is the day that celebrates Stranger Things dropping on Netflix, the anniversary. And then we get a full-blown trailer probably September, about a month before, because I think it's going to come out in October. And then we'll probably have a volume 2 trailer between volume 1 and 2. So we're going to get our trailers. We're going to get fed. We're going to get our fair share of stuff. We just got to be patient. But yeah, I think we're going to have a Stranger Things summer. This is like the last one where the buildup is there. Like, we're going to have events and things discussing Stranger Things. So I'm making it a Stranger Things summer. I hope you guys join along. Like, I want that to live on forever. I think Stranger Things is synonymous with summertime, the carefree sort of nostalgic vibe, the long days, the day, like the late evenings, you know, when it's 8 o'clock, 8:15, and you got like the Stranger Things soundtrack on in your car and you're driving around and you just feel like you're flying, you know. I love that. I crave that. And so that's something that I want that feeling. I never want it to die. I mean, I love the show. It's special to me. And I will always talk about Stranger Things. Always. I love the show, and I think this is going to be a Stranger Things summer. What would I give Thunderbolts out of 10? A strong 8 out of 10, like an 8.25 out of 10, honestly. Do I read Game of Thrones books? I don't, but I've seen the show multiple times. Seasons 1 through 7, that is. 8, I've only seen one time. Probably won't watch it for a long time. A long time. Which Gladiator fight was the best? Paul Mescal versus Pedro. I didn't even need to. Russell Crowe versus Joaquin. I didn't even need to finish reading that. Commodus versus Maximus. I mean, that's you can't beat that, in my opinion. Commodus is so hateable too. Ugh. Evil. Okay. When does the new season come out? We don't know yet, but heavy speculation suggests October, November, like it's in 2 parts. Leanna says, what's one thing you wish more people understood about life as a content creator? Any big frustrations? It's a good question. I haven't asked this one, I don't think. Frustrations. I mean, I think it's maybe that's a really, really good one. You stumped me here. Frustrations, not necessarily frustrations. I think right now, I wish, at least for what I do, where I talk about movies, right? I wish that people would be more, I guess, not welcoming, but understanding of differing opinions. And this is not everyone. This is just the occasional video you post where you have your opinion and you give your honest opinion, and people there's backlash. Oh, why? You hate everything. You love everything. I just don't. And it's just, I'm kind of just speaking to the state of movie reviewing in general. And I think Chris Duck made a video on this a while ago. So this is nothing new, but there's no gray area when it comes to movie discourse. It's like the internet collectively. I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking just like the idea of the internet, right? If you're to put a name to if you're to like put a label on movie Twitter, right? And the most toxic parts of it, that's what I'm referring to. It's like you can only love or hate something. There is no in between. And that frustrates me, I think, more than anything. So it's not really even answering the question well. It's just like that is something that frustrates me, is that I put out a review of a movie, gave it a 7 out of 10, quite enjoyed it, had flaws with it, seen it 2 more times since then, like it even more, but forever people are going to be like, oh, this guy hated Thunderbolts, which I don't. Or, oh, this guy loves Snow White, which I don't. I gave it a 6 out of 10 and had a lot of issues with it. I barely gave it a positive score, and if I rewatched it, it'd probably drop for me. But I still get comments whenever I post something, and it's like people like, oh, remember this guy loved Snow White, which is spreading a lie. When did I say I love Snow White? I never said that on the internet once, not one time. Because I didn't say it was an abomination of humanity, I guess I love it. Like, that's the thing. So it's just, that frustrates me, is the misinterpretation of opinions online and then taking it and labeling it and attaching it to you forever. That frustrates me more than anything, probably. Oh, this guy said this about Multiverse of Madness in 2022. It's like, that was 3 years ago, and I've probably talked about it since then, but I only am going to post one review of Multiverse of Madness. Why would I post a review of it every year? You want to see my updated thoughts? Watch a review, a ranking rather, of the franchise. So things like that frustrate me in this space specifically, but I know that's nothing new. I know everyone else probably feels similarly who does talk about movies, and it irritates me. The Snow White thing irritated me more than maybe anything ever that I've done. Like, that really actually pissed me off more than anything, because I put out a reaction to the movie and I said it's definitely a flawed movie, but I thought that, the music was there, and I think it added more depth to the character than the original, which I stand by. The movie's very flawed and has serious issues that I elaborated on in my actual review. It was just a quick out of theater reaction where I have like a minute to speak. And somehow that has been turned into the guy who loves Snow White, and it makes zero sense to me. And so I get comments still. Remember, though, this guy loved Snow White. His opinion's irrelevant. Like, well, I would hope that you don't take my opinion. I hope you go and form your own opinion. So it frustrates me. The Snow White one really, really frustrated me. And I still probably will get those comments in months. Oh, well, this guy loved Snow White, which is a lie. That is incorrect information. So I don't know. It's a weird world we live in. Frozen Wish Studios. Hello there. I spoke to this earlier. I actually haven't seen it, and I'm like so far behind that I'm honestly just going to wait until next week and probably binge it all. That's my answer. I love Andor. One Way Out is the name of the episode. Season 1 with Kino Loy and company, like breaking out. That is one of the best episodes of Star Wars TV, if not the best. So I love me some Andor, but I just haven't rewatch season 1. There've been other things on my mind. Like this was occupying my mind. By the way, shout out Blake. Thanks for joining, man, and appreciate the kind words. Like I don't think people understand. I saw had this elaborate plan, and it went off without a hitch, thankfully. But like when I went to see Thunderbolts the first time, like I had to go to this place where I did the proposal, and like it was stressful. So that was all in my mind like all week, and so it probably impacted initial viewing. Like I was stressed about that, and I couldn't tell anyone. And so yeah, it's just it's exciting, and but that's just another thing is like mood can impact initial reactions too. Like I wish I could just watch a movie 3 times before I review it, but that's not the world we live in because you got to get things out. So yeah, no, I appreciate that though, Blake. Hope all's well with you, man. Hope all is well. Do I think Marvel is back right now? I don't think Marvel ever left. And what I mean by that is Endgame made a boatload of money. They take 2020 off after Far From Home, I think even made $1 billion or almost came close. They take 2020 off because of the pandemic. 2021, you got Black Widow, which premieres on like Disney Plus and theaters in the same day. So that's already setting it back. And people are skeptical about going out to the theater anyway. Then Shang-Chi drops, Eternals, No Way Home. It does $1.9 billion that year. So in the year of Marvel's return, they have WandaVision on TV, which was a huge hit. Falcon Winter Soldier, Loki, big hits. What If was even pretty well received, and Hawkeye was well received. So well received on the television world. They had Shang-Chi was successful enough, and No Way Home was a smash hit. 2022, Multiverse of Madness makes $995 million or $955 million. Love and Thunder stunk and was a bad movie that made $760 million. Wakanda Forever made $845 million. That was 2022. The shows definitely were a drop that year. Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, solid. She-Hulk, bad. But they never made it's not like Marvel just was making an abomination every other project or every project stunk. There was some mediocre to average projects as opposed to consistently really good to great. Then you roll into 2023. You had Quantumania and the Marvels. You did. But Guardians 3. Smash hit at the box office. Loved the movie. Then you roll into 2024. Deadpool and Wolverine. One of the highest grossing movies of the year. Over $1 billion. And now, this year, let's look at what the MCU's done this year. Daredevil Born Again. Widely loved. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Widely loved. Thunderbolts. A lot of people love it. Brave New World, overhated. I'll say it. I think that it is a flawed movie, but it's not the worst. People have said this is the worst MCU movie. I think that's insane, but it's still fine. Okay. Where are we headed? We got Fantastic Four right around the corner. And then we got Avengers movies that are going to make a lot of money and have butts and seats. So like Marvel never fell off a cliff. Marvel never was as bad as the DCEU. Yeah, they lost their way. Yeah, they didn't have as much continuity between project connectivity. So they lost their way a bit, but I kind of compare it to it's a rebuild phase. We've been in the rebuild years, and you can never maintain a level of greatness forever, especially in sports or in movies. Look at Star Wars, look at Harry Potter, look at Lord of the Rings. Like these, if we're looking at their whole franchises, they have drop-offs, right? The Hobbit trilogy to many was a drop-off. Fantastic Beasts was a drop-off. The prequels, sequels to many drop-offs. So it's normal, in my opinion, if you run this long to have drops in quality. And so we'll see if they're headed back in the right direction. I'm trying to be optimistic. Are they racing towards doomsday? Likely. I feel they are. But we'll see what they have cooked up. Because if it's true that they filmed that post-credit scene for Thunderbolts like a couple weeks ago, it was clean. It was well shot. I like the team dynamic. I like what I saw. So they could end up making something special maybe with Doomsday, and then that's all it takes. I think a lot of people might have checked out, but Marvel never went away and fell off. It's miraculous to me that if we're comparing Marvel to DC, how DC ever was afoot. They had movies, I think 5+ movies in a row that stunk, no one liked, and bombed at the box office. Marvel has never had that. So, yeah, it's kind of like when a sports team is consistently great forever, and then they have a couple, by their standards, bad years. It's like everyone overreacts and thinks, oh, they're terrible forever, but it's still their output is still pretty high. So that's my take on the whole is Marvel back thing. I think Marvel's so back, the MCU's so back, it's just become a hook for a TikTok video, a hook, a 2-second hook. You got to get someone's attention in 2 seconds. That's what they say. Marvel's so back. If just yelling that in the camera, someone's probably going to stick around. So that's my take on it. Who's one character that hasn't been announced in Doomsday that you want to see from Nev? Doctor Strange. I think it's important. Okay. I'll probably go a little longer and then wrap this thing up. Let's see. Personally, I thought Andor Season 2 is even better than the first. They've literally become the Game of Thrones of Star Wars, and I'm all here for it. Interesting. You've intrigued me. Quite intriguing. You will try. Who would win, Sentry or Adam Warlock? I'll go Sentry. Sentry. They'll be close. Do you think we'll get a trailer for Squid Game 3? I do. I believe we will get the Squid Game 3 full trailer at TUDUM. Do I think 2026 will be much better than 2025 in terms of movies? Much better. I think it could be better. Yeah. I mean, the Odyssey, an Avengers movie, a Spider-Man movie. You've got Dune Messiah. You've got a lot of other things that are escaping my mind. So I think the big dogs of this year compared to next year, I think next year might win that battle. I've never seen Twin Peaks. Never seen it. Never played the Max Payne games. Which Accountant movie is your favorite? I think if I want to watch one right now, I'm going to Accountant 2 because it's more lighthearted, but The Accountant might be the better movie. They're pretty equal to me, though. Steve Harrington versus Walter White. I don't know if Walter White can fight very well. Steve with a bat? Give me Steve. If you had the opportunity, would you be an Oscar voter? I don't think I would want that pressure, honestly. That's a lot of pressure right there. A lot of pressure, I feel. Yeah, it's just a cycle. It's, we're done. We're back. The MCU sucks. It's so good. We're back. It's exhausting. Why does everything have to be a definitive end-all be-all statement? This is the greatest thing ever. This is the worst thing ever. We're so back. We're so cooked. Blah, blah, blah. It's exhausting to see on the internet. And it's like, damn. Just chill. Favorite song on the Crux? Ooh, great question. I was listening to the whole album on my walk today. My answer's actually changed since listening to the album more and more and more. I think... you know how we say a movie's rewatchable or a show's rewatchable? How about re-listenable? I'm going to make that up. I think the most re-listenable or song that's the easiest to listen to a lot is Charlie's Garden. And that's a bop right there. That's in contention. But honestly, a couple other songs have really risen in my rankings as a potential favorite. Lonesome is a State of Mind. Link. Potion and Basic Being Basic was the first one we heard. So that was like, that one's not my favorite anymore because I had it at the time, right? Potion was also like an initial one that I loved. Still I like every song on the album, but I would say, honestly, Link is in contention right now. Back on You hits. The whole album's great. Gap Tooth Smile. I mean, if I had to pick one right now, my favorite right now today, 7:42 p.m. on May 7th, 2025, I'm going with Link. Call me crazy. Favorite art print you collected from Alan? That's tough. This one right here has so much detail that I can't show you because it's far away. But like if you zoom in on the sword, there's like inscriptions and like an Eggo waffle right here and like a quote. And so it's really got a lot of attention to detail. Brave New World's bottom 10, it could very well be, honestly. But when there's 36 movies in a franchise and we're approaching 40, like that's still not an abomination in my opinion. But people were treating this movie when it came out like it was The Room or like this was The Fanatic, you know, that movie with John Travolta I never saw, but like people were acting like it was like a parody movie, like disaster movie or something. And I was like, damn, like I just did not see it that way. But there were real overreactions to it, in my opinion. But it's flawed for sure. We have a super chat from Gavin. Again, shout out Gavin. Thank you, man. What is your dream director-actor combo? Minus Fincher with DiCaprio or Chalamet. Ooh, I would say I would love to see, and I'm going to be basic here, Nolan. And who has Nolan not worked with? That's where we start. We start with the director. We go Nolan because he's still at the top of his game, making bangers. He's first time with Burnfall is coming up. That's exciting. He's worked with Chalamet technically in Interstellar. He's worked with Leo. He's worked with. Hold on. Unless I'm having the ultimate brain fart right now. Nolan and Pitt. Have we seen that? Nolan and Brad Pitt. It's really, really simple in my opinion. And I want it. I want that. I need that actually. Need it. Because Nolan's worked, Fincher's worked with Brad Pitt multiple times. Tarantino has worked with Brad Pitt multiple times. Has Nolan worked with Brad Pitt? Following, no. Memento, no. Begins, no. Not in the Dark Knight trilogy at all. He's not in Inception. He's not in Interstellar. He's not in Dunkirk. He's not in Tenet. He's not in Oppenheimer. He's not in Prestige. He's not in Insomnia. He's not in. No, I would say that is my dream. It's almost too obvious. Christopher Nolan and Brad Pitt. I think that he leads a Nolan movie. We're cooking. We're cooking. I mean, Nolan's worked with who? Damon, DiCaprio, Cillian Murphy, obviously, Florence Pugh, Emily Blunt, Bale, Pattinson. Like he's Tom Holland upcoming, Bernthal upcoming, Guy Pearce back in the day. He had, Hugh Jackman, Scarlett Johansson, Michael Caine, like tons of these major, major stars. Robin Williams, Al Pacino. I mean, let's get Brad Pitt in a damn Nolan movie now. Let's make that happen for the next movie he does after The Odyssey. Let's make that helicopter movie that everyone said he was going to do. Let's do it with Brad Pitt. The helicopter pilot movie. Let's do that. Yeah. Great question, man. How do I think Rafe's story will end the Outer Banks 5? I think Rafe could die. I don't even know. That's a wild take, but I think he could bite the dust. A wild take, I know. We're going to end this stream here in a couple minutes, so fire off your last-minute questions. Super chat them in if you have any you're dying to ask and have me answer that I haven't yet. But this has been a really fun stream, guys. Nolan and Pitt, absolutely. Thoughts on Nolan's The Odyssey, my most anticipated movie right now. Nolan and Tom Cruise would also be hype. Nolan and any big-name actor would be hype. Yeah, I think Sam Owens will be in Stranger Things 5. I think the actors even hinted at that as well. Do I think DiCaprio would be a fan of Fincher doing dozens of takes? I think he would get pissed at him. And I think it would be quite funny to see how irritated he would get. Like a behind-the-scenes video of him getting angrier. Because, Fincher does an absurd amount of takes, right? And it gets like frustrating to actors, I've heard. That would probably annoy Leo. Don't know how I should do it, but how many movies do I need to watch before Fantastic Four? Like how many OG Fantastic Four movies do I need to see first? I'd say none. It's completely its own thing. You could watch the two from the 2000s if you want. I think it's unnecessary. And you could also watch Fantastic, but I think that's also unnecessary. So I would just not watch them. I mean, like, you don't even have to know about the Fantastic Four because this movie's going to be an origin story. So you're good, in my opinion. In my opinion, at least. I can't speak for everyone else. Watch Super 8, please. I may one day. It's always been a movie that I remember the teaser and like the trailer for, but I've never actually seen. Beyond hyped. I broke the scale for how hyped I am for this. Am I ever going to watch School Spirits? Never say never. I know Peyton List is in it. Pinky says hi. Hello there. They mentioned that in the studio when Efron talked about Olivia Wilde. Yeah, I remember the multiple takes thing. How Fincher does it. He does a ton. I've heard he does in the Social Network, they had to they had it timed with Sorkin because the script, I believe, was like 180 pages, and like a page of a script usually equates to about a minute of screen time, and so they had to condense it to 2 hours when it should have been like a 3-hour movie based on how long the script was, and so they like timed out the dialogue, and if they went over time, they had to redo the scene. Do I think Fantastic Four will be the best comic book project of the year? There's a damn good chance. Yeah, I mean, I think it being a period piece really helps it out, and the cast helps it out too. The Giacchino score, I'll say, I think that it's going to be the best MCU score of the year, even over the Sun Lux one from Thunderbolts. Like that is how, I mean, Giacchino cooks, guys. Giacchino did the Batman. Giacchino did Up. Giacchino did Incredibles, Ratatouille. I'm pretty sure he did Incredibles, but he definitely did Ratatouille. He's cooked before, and so Giacchino for the score is big. Do I think it'd be the best comic project of the year? That's a tough ask. I mean, Thunderbolt. It's going to be competing with Thunderbolt. It's going to be competing with Daredevil Born Again. It's going to be competing with Superman in the same month. It's going to be competing with Peacemaker season 2. It's going to be competing with Ironheart. Yeah, we'll see. I think there's a really good chance for me personally, just based on my tastes and what I've liked in the past and haven't liked. There is a chance that it is for me. It would be really sick if Joe played at TUDUM. I doubt it would happen, but that would be dope. I'm optimistic we'll get a teaser, but I don't think like a teaser for the teaser. So like a poster, and then it's like full teaser trailer coming on May 31st. Will Ethan Hunt die? Runtime is 2 hours 49. Yeah, I saw that. Ethan Hunt will not die. That is my prediction. I think Tom Cruise knows what fans want and what pleases them, and killing Ethan Hunt would not be satisfying. So he'll live, much like how in Maverick almost dies but lives. I think they'll do something similar. Same with Fallout. Ethan almost dies, but he lives. Leanna says, any more unusual couple? Maybe. It's not on the radar immediately, but never say never. It's kind of on hiatus again right now. Favorite movie or so far this year? Favorite movie, Najah 2. Favorite show, probably The Studio or Severance. Very excited for the F1 movie. I think the finale runtime of Stranger Things will be 2.5 hours, maybe even longer. Shoot. I haven't watched Andor yet. I know I've answered that a bunch. Alan says, congrats on the engagement. Thank you, Alan. I appreciate it. That's a valid comp right there, especially with the score and the sort of hopeful vibe between the two films. I can see it. Will Toby come back in Secret Wars? Yeah, I think every Marvel character is going to be offered to come back for sure. And I'll end with this question. What are you hoping to see in teaser from Stranger Things? Oh, I'm gonna make my own question. So I'm hoping we get quick glimpses of every character, Vecna voiceover maybe, and like a shot of all the characters together maybe. That would be sick, and like the upside down. But I want to see I'm going to answer this. What teaser do I also want to see? I want some news on Outer Banks 5. I want some more on Wednesday, some more on Squid Game, but give me Outer Banks or give me death. But no, this will be the final question. This is a good one. Do you think the entirety of Doomsday will look similar to the post-credit scene of Thunderbolts, like how dark it was shot? I could see that being the case. Stylistically looking a little different, darker, kind of like the later Harry Potter films being darker, like lightwise, because thematically they're darker. So yeah, that's going to do it, though, for this live stream. It was a fun one. Went almost for 2 hours. Appreciate you guys if you hung around the whole time, if you joined here and there. If you're watching on the replay, which I know a lot of you guys do, thank you so much. Be sure to hit that like button. We got 68 people still in there, so hit it. Run up the like button, and if you're on the replay, do it as well. It's free, and it helps out a lot. And if you guys sent in a super chat, it means the world. Thank you so much. But that was a fun one. Be on the lookout for more videos coming later this week, from shorts to TikToks to Instagram Reels to full-length videos. Lots on the way. But that'll do it. Thank you guys, as always, for watching. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.